Good afternoon. It's a great pleasure to be able to say to you, welcome to Cabal Vision HD, the new official Blood Bowl TV.
Hi everyone. Our goblin technicians have been working night and day for the last year in order to deliver you the best quality service ever.
Hello everyone, welcome back. This is the Sage, and over on Discord here, I have jounisii with me. Hi jounisii.
Links.
Hey, thanks for checking in. So, welcome everyone, especially jounisii, my opponent for this next game that we've got. So to those of you who might not know, the next match will be the semifinals of the BBTactics World Cup qualifier, and we've got Dark Elves versus Wood Elves, and I hear that jounisii is a very good Wood Elf coach with a somewhat different outlook on Blood Bowl than my own, so that's bound to be interesting. jounisii, can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Well, I live in Finland.
All right. How long have you been playing Blood Bowl for?
Back in very late 80s and early 90s.
Late 80s. Wow. So you're from the first generation of Blood Bowl coaches. Epic. Yeah. So I'm kind of a noob relative to all that. I only started playing in 2011. So I've never played anything before CRP, basically.
Not the case really, because I 10 matches back then because I really couldn't get my friend. So discovered the game like maybe 3 years ago, and that not from the late 80s.
I'm sorry, could you get slightly closer to your mic or speak up just a little bit, because the automatic talk thing isn't picking you up all the time. Thanks. So, would you say that you're primarily a Wood Elf coach, or is it more diverse in your opinion?
My favorite, the Pro Elves.
Pro Elves, yeah.
Yeah.
That really fits the difference in our coaching style, because I consider myself an elf coach, but of all the elf teams, the Pro Elves fit me least. So that should be fun. Yeah.
You do AV7 elfies, but all the elves are kind of close to my heart. But I'm an agile coach. For example,
agility coach. Yeah, me too.
Yeah. For example, in OFL, I'm trying my wings with Slan, aka
Slan. Yeah, they're great fun. So OFL is what format then?
NFL, based on the American football.
Okay,
Yes.
but so where do you play it?
It's a local area network.
Okay,
English,
cool.
So 1-on-1, and that allows
so it's
OFL to have all the star players and things like that.
So it's a modded version of Blood Bowl Chaos Edition, which allows for races that aren't actually in the game.
I'm not very familiar with the technical stuff, so.
Okay, sure, no worries.
But pretty much the case.
Okay. Well, what do you think about the matchup that we have for today?
I'm a huge underdog in here.
Yeah, there's a bit of a gap, yeah.
The TV difference ain't, well, I don't know it exactly, but it's way too big for me, because you have some essential skills and I lack them.
Yeah,
So
that does seem to be the case, but of course Wood Elves can pull off a lot of stunts. Oh, hey, this is interesting.
But some luck is needed for sure. But no, I'm the underdog in here. But I'm gonna try. I always try.
Yes, I'm hopeful for that. Have you decided on whether you're going to spend your money or not?
Should I? About an hour, I checked your team, and you haven't made any decisions yet either.
That is correct. No, there's an interesting waiting game there. I'm not sure how that should work out actually, because normally, like on Fumble, you have a post-match sequence and a pre-match sequence, and that means that there's a clear set of decisions and when which decision has to be made. And on Bloodbowl 2, there's no such distinction, so it's basically all live and on the fly, which is kind of weird.
But it's pretty similar in Chaos Edition as well, so I'm used to it.
Okay.
It's all about. And
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that part.
in the end, so no last minute changing of the team and
Yes.
are you ready and things like that. A bit like gentleman.
Yes, I see. Let me go and grab my cheat sheet that I had somewhere. So you're also in another World Cup qualifier, right?
Started 4.
In 4 of them. Wow.
Yeah, I did 4, all with the same team.
All with the same team. Okay.
And 2 of them, because this is very dice dependent team.
Do it!
And for just short league, you have to try something. And I started 1 reroll. No up.
1 reroll. Okay.
And things can go horribly wrong with that. And
Yes, but you do get a bunch of skills in return, right? So you start off with the tree and 2 dancers and 1 reroll, is that it?
Well,
Okay, so does that leave money for a catcher as well?
1 catcher, 2 war dancers, and a 3-man.
Okay, well, that is a solid squad. But do you still have 1 reroll, or did you get a second at some point? Oh, you have a 3rd even.
I will get them as soon as possible.
Right. So that is a lot of money, though. So because you start off with 1 reroll and then you spend 200k on 2 more rerolls, which means you don't have money to replace players, which we can see from your team.
But for the short format this World Cup is, I think it was the best move. Best and most successful build has been a bit different. I had thrower, wand as a 9 linemen, and then 3 rerolls. And I started to build my team for a long league. But that's totally different without any skills and way behind in these kind of tournaments in game. So
Yeah, I can see how either of those would work. I do think that the shorter the league is, the better Wood Elves get, because you really are already very effective as soon as you have a strip ball dancer and attack or a frenzy dancer, and you don't need that much skill up to be very effective. Yeah, nice.
And this kind of team, even though I like to throw the ball usually with elves.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I heard about that. Yeah, we had a nice discussion on the BBTactics forums where I was going all about optimal and only passing as Plan B, and we had a nice difference of opinion there. I like that. I hope we get to see the same differences in terms of playstyle this game.
The last sentence.
I said I hope we get to see those differences in playstyle in the game itself as well.
Well, because I didn't take the thrower in the beginning, I thought that the catcher dodge would be essential to move.
Sure, but you don't
so
need.
I have to run the ball.
You don't need pass or catch to play passing plays, right?
But it makes them safer,
Yes, I know, definitely. Yeah, especially if you have neither, then you're risking a 1, which means you don't have a reroll for the other one. So it's a pity that you've lost your catcher for this game, because if you have the catcher, then at least you have rerolls on both, even if one of them is a team reroll. Yeah.
So basically my team build is for running mostly.
Yeah, well, the parts that you have left anyway. Well, Agility 5 might help a bit, I guess. So you've got 8 players, one of whom is missing, so you've actually got 7 players right now.
No.
Which means you would have 4 journeymen. So that's 280k worth of journeymen if you decide not to get a word answer, which you're not going to tell me apparently.
Are you gonna tell me I'm gonna take your second witch?
Yeah, I'll tell you. I'm not going to get a second witch. Yes, I think it's fair enough to tell you that. Because I think that having the money for a wizard in the finals is too important, and I could see. Then again, I'm not missing a dancer. I started off with 1 witch, and I do have quite a bunch of positionals. Let's have a look at my team for a moment. So I've got this blitzer with minus movement but blodge, whom I kept because I figured I wanted to save the money for the wizard for the finals. I've got a blodge who's skilled. I've got a blodge tackle, block mighty blow tackle. I've got a dodge runner who's skilled, a dodge lineman, a missing kicker, and a blodge witch. So I've got 10 players right now, which means I get 1 journeyman for 70k. I'm now at 1360, so that would put me at 1430, except if I drop some team value from treasury. So that's what we got. Jounisii, do you know off the top of your head the name of our opponent finalist, the one who one of us is going to be playing in the next round?
Name is Chelio.
Chilio, is that the team or the coach?
No, the coach's name. I think they are orcs. They beat the
orcs. What be this?
Got 20 Phoenix in the semi.
Jaleel, yeah, I see. So the red ones go faster, the Grimgore Riders. Let's see, so we have a block guard black orc, 3 rookie black orcs, block guard tackle, another block guard tackle, block mighty blow, sorry, block is obvious, duh. Another tackle who's skilled, who's probably getting mighty blow as well. So that would mean 3 tacklers, 1 with mighty blow and another mighty blow. That is tough for either of us, really. Also 3 guard, a strength 4 lineman, and an agility 4 thrower. That's a pretty sweet setup for orcs, especially since they're specialized at beating up elves. Yeah, that might be tough. Also, they have a thrower, so strip ball is not going to help much. And yeah, if I get to face them, then that will be wasted tackle on my side of things. Yeah, it looks tough for either of us, really. This is a very specialized elf killer team, I'd say.
Going into the tournament, so that's understandable. That
yeah, no, I think it's very sensible playing the metagame. Yeah, normally I wouldn't build orcs that way, but for this tournament with this group, I think it's perfectly sensible. Yes, right. What do you say? Shall we get to it?
I'm ready.
Okay. So I understood that you would prefer not to be on Discord during the actual match. So thanks for the brief chat and for dropping in here and letting the viewers get to know you a little bit and myself as well. Have a great game. Have a lot of fun. And may the best coach win.
For having me. I guess I'll see you in a couple of minutes in the game.
Yes. All right. See you in a bit.
Bye-bye.
All right. Well, so that's Jounisii, and that's the opponent that I'm going to be playing. So this was interesting. Right. I'm not going to do the waiting game thing. I'm just going to skill them now. I had already decided on how to skill them after all. So let's see. Seed. levels, rolls normals, because I already know. And he will get leader. Yes, not sure hands, that's right. My runner does not get sure hands. Why does my runner not get sure hands, you say? Because I also have a skilled blitzer, and he has blodge, and I like being safe against those war dancers. So, here we go. Blodge, yes, I didn't... It looks like pro is selected, right? Because you have this block around it. So whenever I click something, I'm like, oh, is pro selected? No, sure hands is selected. Yes, I'm very sure. Sure hands. Yes, that's the skill I want. So, now we have a blodge sure hands carrier and a leader caddy runner. It says here we have 11 players, but actually we have 10 because my kicker is currently missing. Right. I do have 180k. Well, Ego Sensei, if I consider just giving him block. Normally I like carrying with the runner, but against the strip ball dancer, I really want blodge sure hands. So, yes, that's... no, Siam Go. All of the qualifier games are just single matches. It's only for the main event, so the real World Cup, that the finals are best of 3 and maybe the 7, I'm not sure. Okay, so that puts me on 1400, but of course I can drop some team value still. Oh, I cannot fire my fan factor, unlike Lupac. I considered it, Squirrel Dude. I considered it, but that would leave me on 110. And if I were to, say, not have fame, then even with a win, the chance of not getting the wizard is just, yeah, maybe Siam Go. Probably. No, I actually like the 4th reroll, I think. Especially since I'm going to be up against orcs if I win this one. The orcs have 3 tackle, which means my dodge doesn't do as much, which means the extra rerolls actually become more valuable. Let's see. Now, he's got 1120 now. He got the dancer, okay. So let's see, he's got 8 players now. Which means 210 in... he has 0 money, right? Yes. So he gets 210, which puts him at 1330. Which means if I... 1330 would give him 70k, yes? Which means if I drop 30k for my team value, he does not get a babe. That is definitely worth doing. Yes. 1, 2, 3. Yay, cheerleaders. Goodbye, cheerleaders. 1, 2, 3. There. Wait, does that make sense? No, because I get a journeyman as well. Ah, you're such an idiot, Sage. Right. That was silly. So I could have actually kept... Wait, I get at least 20k from a win. Let me think. That means if I have 130, I'm safe. So let's count this again. Make sure I get this right. My team value is now 1370, but we will add 70k for a lineman, which means we've got 1440. 1440, he gets 210 on top of this, so he gets 1370. So he gets an even 100, is that right? Is there anything he can get for 120 that he cannot get for 100? I don't think so. So I might just actually take a cheerleader and a coach's an assistant coach, which is silly in terms of money, but it doesn't really matter because, well, it might if I, yeah. 110, is that right? I suck at math. Seriously.
1, 2,
Still, 130 doesn't actually get him anything that 110 does not, does it? I don't think so. The stars start later. Yeah, so I think getting a cheerleader and an assistant coach is a good idea in this case. Might just cost him a reroll or get me one. And yeah, so it's a bit of silly that I wasted this money when I could have actually gotten these additions. But as long as I have that 150 for the next game, I'm quite happy with it. Yeah, that's probably a good idea, Wildcoon. Yes. So, and we're spending the money again. Very silly. Right. Let's do this. World Cup hype.